What's up everybody, it's your boy Digital here. So I just got back from seeing the new Joker movie and all I have to say is wow. If you guys haven't seen this, make sure you go see it before this review because there's gonna be spoilers. But honestly, with all of the outrage online and all the flack that the movie's been getting, I didn't know what to expect really, but all I knew is from the first trailer, I was excited. Knowing that Joaquin Phoenix and his creepy crazy ass was gonna be the star and knowing that Todd Phillips was gonna be directing, it was a recipe for success in my eyes. But what I had conjured up in my head was nothing to what I saw on screen. It was a beautiful depiction of the origin of one of our favorite DC villains, and I just can't even tell you enough how proud I am of them of covering all these different issues that are really hitting home right now. They cover mental illness, gun control, rich versus poor, so many things that you wouldn't expect to see in a comic book movie, and honestly, I just couldn't be happier with what I just walked away from. The movie walks a very thin line between making Arthur relatable and sympathetic and also making him scary. I think that's very difficult to do, and the fact that they were able to do that so perfectly where they make you feel for him but fear him as well simultaneously, it's a very interesting depiction of a character. And I think that that's something that makes it such a scary movie for people who are hating it online, is that it is kind of real. It's almost too real at certain instances where it's like, okay, this could be somebody who is pushed to the edge so much by society and by the people around them, who's so forgotten and has never been listened to that he has nowhere else to turn. Joaquin really just carries the movie by himself and he takes up most of the screen time anyway, so that is a good thing. I just think it's beautiful that the way they had him be so fragile and delicate but aggressive at the same time. It was just a great depiction, I can't lie. Another key thing I want to talk about is the cinematography. This movie was shot brilliantly. The tone of the movie from the beginning was very dark and blue and cold, and then as soon as Arthur starts embracing the Joker aspect of himself and the animalistic side where he just goes on rampages and he's more aggressive, the lighting actually brightens up and gives you a warmer feeling, because even if that's the opposite of what normal people would feel like okay, if you're a murderer, that's when things get dark and cold, but for Arthur, that's when the world starts opening for him and people start noticing and everything starts to brighten up and his life becomes a comedy instead of a tragedy, literally and figuratively. And so that's, I just think, a beautiful choice by whoever was shooting it. I also think the way that they depict Arthur imagining certain scenarios in his head is well done. Like, I don't want to give too many things away, but there's a certain character that you really feel him building with, and it's pretty much the only positive aspect that's happening to him in the entire movie. And then you get to a certain point, like halfway in, it's pretty deep in, where they let you realize that it's all been in his head, it's fake, nothing that he's been doing with this person has been real, it's all been part of his imagination. And that was a twist and turn I didn't even see coming. I talked to somebody and they said they saw it, but I don't know how, because literally it was built up good. Like, there was no way I saw that coming. And they also have elements of Batman and stuff like that, which I don't want to give too much away like I said, but yeah, pretty much Thomas Wayne is a prevalent character. He's running for mayor in Gotham during this time, and Arthur's mom worked for Thomas Wayne previously. I guess she worked at his manor as like a maid or something like that. And so she's writing letters to him because he was always so good to them, asking for money and to help with their house because they're so poor, and help with her son. And I just think it's so intriguing the way that they interweave the storylines between the Flecks and the Waynes and how Arthur meets Bruce. It's all just fascinating. It's something I never saw coming going into the movie, and maybe that's why it left such an impression on me going out. But I also want to talk about how Arthur's first instance where he fully feels alive, he gets recognized for it on national news coverage, and finally people are reading in papers about him, but they don't know it's him. He was dressed up as the clown. So as they're reading the newspaper and watching the news, he finally feels noticed. He finally feels like people are paying attention to him, they're listening, and that's all he ever wants, is someone to listen, someone to care, someone to just notice the situation that he's been in his entire life. And that's kind of portrayed in the relationship he has with his psychiatrist, where even he says to her straight up, like, you don't listen to me, and she's telling him that they're closing their therapy sessions because the service union or something like that in Gotham is getting shut down because of budget restraints. And so because of his first situation he gets himself into, he becomes like the icon of all these riots against the rich and riots against the Waynes because of the disparity in wealth in Gotham and all of the poverty that's going on. In the beginning they're talking about like these mutant super rats that are like roaming the city and stuff. They start protesting with clown masks and it's like a clown revolution pretty much. It's just crazy. And so I think that was one of the most interesting aspects, is how without Arthur even trying, he becomes somewhat of an icon. And so then another aspect of him is how throughout the movie you see him trying his best to be normal, trying to replicate what other people do, how they act. He'll watch, like, Murray is a like late night talk show host in this, and basically it's kind of like a ripoff of Johnny Carson, if you know what that is from back in the day. And he idolizes Murray like he's a father because he's never had a father or anything. And so you'll see him watching clips of people on Murray and trying to replicate how they walk into the show, how they wave, where they wave, and he does these types of things with his stand-up comedy as well. But then slowly you see him owning who he is naturally and dancing and doing all the creepy elements of his character that make him who he is. It's kind of sad and happy at the same time because yes, he is owning the real side of him, but the real side of him was only brought out by becoming a murderer and a psychopath. And so it kind of sucks, but it's an interesting character piece on the human psychology and how certain things affect you throughout your life, and all it can take is one bad day. So I really think that that's the beauty of this movie, is the duality of it. And even then, they don't fully depict him as the protagonist. He's definitely the antagonist in his own movie, but even that being so, it's well done. I have to give a round of applause to Joaquin Phoenix and also Todd Phillips, the director. This was just a great movie overall. I personally would give it like an 8-9 out of a 10. I think it's one of the best movies I've seen, at least in 2019. If you guys haven't seen it, and if that's the case, I don't know why you're this far in the video. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't spoil that much, but I did give away some of the plot elements here and there. But if you guys haven't seen it, I definitely recommend going and check it out. There's so much more than even I covered in this video. I also would love to know if you have seen it. What did you think about it? Do you agree that this is one of the best movies you've seen of the year? Did you not think it lived up to your expectations? Did the hype and online media coverage all get to you, and so now you just think it's just a trash piece that is going to turn everyone into murderous killers? I want you to let me know what you think down in the comments. If you don't mind, type that out for me. I also would like to know what you guys are expecting next. Would you think that there would be a Batman sequel to this where both Joaquin and maybe Robin Pattinson's Batman come together? I'm not sure exactly what they're going to be doing, but I would love to see that. Do you guys think that there should be more comic book movies going in this direction to where it's actually just more of a drama than a superhero comic book movie? I want to know what you guys have to think, so like I said, let me know down below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified every single time that I upload. I'm trying to do weekly uploads, if not more, so if you guys are interested in that, don't forget to do what I just said. As always, it's your boy Digital Ark. This was my review on the Joker. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.